Hi everyone, welcome to tonight's presentation about the importance of self-care and how it impacts our relationships. So we usually care so much for others and look after others, but we forgot to look after ourselves. So it is very important that we look after ourselves and look at um, to a self-care as a relational investment. Means it's something that it can improve our relationship, and it's not just a personal thing. So according to World Health Organization, if the stress is not managed and if we are burnout, which has increased a lot in the world, this can have effects on people like badly. So throughout our session, I will define self-care and also its impacts on the relationship and some psychological practices that we can implement to improve our self-care. So, why self-care is important to healthy relationship? So, if we don't have self-care, it can increase emotional reactivity. If we don't look after ourselves and we feel depleted, we become so irritable and reactive in our interactions with others. It can also reduce our empathy, our capacity to understand others. It will diminish, and because our own needs are not met. So it can also increase our emotional spill over to others. It means that because we have stresses which are built on, and then it can affect our relationship. So caring for ourselves, it allows that we look after others better as well. Imagine like a parent or a partner who don't look after themselves and their well-being. They might unintentionally withdraw emotionally from their partners. And even it's possible that they become angry with their partners and with their loved ones. So what is self-care? The psychological definition of self-care. Self-care includes actions that can increase physical, mental, and emotional health. It can prevent burnout and also increase our energy for loved ones. So, in contrast to popular belief that self-care is a selfish thing to do, it's not selfish. It is essential for relationship maintenance. So how is the self-care currently in your life? Do you think you have a good self-care? So now we are going to look at the type of self-care. We have physical self-care, which is this physical self-care can include our sleep, nutrition, and also exercises. These are the three foundation of self-care. These are the basic needs that impact our relationship regulation and capacity for connection with others. And we have also emotional self-care. What is emotional self-care? We know different feelings. We can name them. We usually use therapy or journaling. This all can help us to process our feeling better. And also, if we can emotionally be aware and be conscious, then we can just behave less reactively in our relationship. So the other self-care is cognitive self-care, which this kind of self-care include like mindfulness, gratitude practices, meditation, all the healthy patterns that can create some mental space. So this also can improve communication with others. So the fourth type of self-care is social self-care. The quality of our connections, our ability that, we can set clear boundaries with others, share experiences, going to nature, our relationship with nature, and even the spiritual self-care, which it can include like, our life purpose, meaning, reflection. All of this can play an important role in our overall well-being. So, the first practice I want to look at would be mindfulness for emotional balance. So, how this mindfulness works? We bring our awareness to the to moment, to here and now. We notice our thoughts, our feelings without any judgments. We can focus on our breathing, you know, whenever you are feel like a stress or you feel you are on the edge, you can anchor yourself, ground yourself by bringing your attention to present moment, by taking deep breath, and it can calm our nervous system immediately. So the other mindfulness practice would be try to practice mindful listening with your loved ones, especially. Put your mobile phone away, try fully attend to others without just, preparing just to respond back. Try to just be engaged and understand what they are really saying. So mindfulness can improve emotional regulation and connection quality. Research shows that couples who practice mindfulness communicate more effectively and report higher relationship satisfaction. You can try with just 5 minutes breathing space or mindful walk to reset your nervous system before an important interactions with your loved ones. Even small practices can significantly improve your presence with your loved ones. Imagine, for example, you finished work, you had a lot to do, you feel so much stress. Try to just do, you know, like 5 minutes like breathing exercise or go for a 5 minutes walk without like interactions like with mobile phone or social media or things like that. And that can really ground you before like, um, just going back to your children or to your partners and start talking. So the next important things would be practice prioritizing sleep for emotional resilience. So how can we improve our sleep? Like consistent sleep schedule. Try to go to bed and wake up at similar time, even on weekends. So it's good to be consistent on like the sleep time. And also have some routine, like wind down routine before sleep, like reading, some gentle stretches, or some relaxation exercise before bed. And the third thing would be try to limit your screen time. Reduce blue light exposure 1 or 2 hours before bedtime. And the fourth thing would be careful with how much caffeine use, especially after 2, 3 p.m. So this can, affect your sleep. So research shows that poor sleep increase the conflicts and arguments in relationship and also reduce empathy. So prioritize your sleep not only because you want to improve your health and function better, you can also model a healthy habits for your children. So also research has shown even one night improved sleep can dramatically change how we respond to relationship challenges the next day. So practice number three would be like movement for mental clarity and connection. So we have different kinds of movements. One would be like walking together. If we have a partner or like children or loved ones, one good practice would be try to combine movement with connection. This has like a dual benefits for relationship health. The other movement would be solo movement, individual exercises, which can create mental space and improve mood regulation. And the third kind of like movement can be like group activity and exercises. So research shows exercise can improve mood and relationship satisfaction. So even small movements can reduce emotional exhaustion and improve our capacity for positive interactions. So try to schedule walking with a friend, with your partner, and it's an opportunity for side-by-side conversation, which is it's very like it's create a safer space and it is less intense than face-to-face discussion. So practice number four, look after your social connections. So, deep relationships are very important. Intimate connections with partners and close friends, try to look after it. Community connections, regular engagement with groups which you share values, that can bring a sense of like, connectivity and belonging. Some casual interactions, even like, you go to the cafe, with the barista, you start talking, those casual like interactions with like strangers, even it can create a sense of belonging. So research shows that strong relationships are associated to longevity and happiness. So connection itself is a form of self-care. Look at your connection as a self-care and try to prioritize those meaningful conversation and try to do regular check-ins. So also try to schedule friendship maintenance time. This can provide emotional resources outside of your primary relationships. If you just focus on your host relationship, your partner and children, and you neglect relationship with friends, that can put, relationship on pressure because one partner cannot meet all your needs. So it's better we increase our emotional support resources. And practice number five would be cultivate self-compassion. So when we are struggling, we have hard, difficult situation, it's very important we tell ourselves, I know this is hard right now, and try to create some space for these difficult feelings and show compassion to ourselves and also try to connect with like humanity, like to friends or families, that you are not alone because other people also might share the similar experiences, and that can reduce isolation. So try to be kind with yourself. Treat yourself with the same care you would treat your good friend. So research shows that self-compassion can reduce stress and increase relationship satisfaction. It shows that athletes who practicing self-compassion recover from failure more effectively and maintain better performance over time. So when we treat ourselves with kindness, it's natural that we can do the same with others. Show this compassion to others. That can create a positive cycle in our relationship. So, but yeah, most people know self-care things. They know some of these things. And, but they always bring excuses for that. What are those excuses? So sometimes they feel guilt about taking time for themselves. Sometimes they say that, I don't have time. I have very busy schedule. Sometimes they are so perfectionist in doing it right. They say they want to have a big chunk of time for self-care. Sometimes in some cultures, they just value productivity and they don't value self-care much. They have that fear that they might, be selfish to others if they say, I want to look after myself. So, what can we do in these cases? Try to change, like reframe. Self care is a gift, not to yourself, but to the others as well. And start with small practices, even 5 minutes every day. And try to bring new habits to existing routines. Just, it's not good just to know one or two, three ways to for self-care. Try to learn different ways to look after yourself and bring those varieties. And also try to focus on progress and, increasing that over time, not perfection. And the last thing is try to communicate your needs clearly to your loved ones. So, what is the barrier now you have? So, how can you overcome it? Remember, small, consistent action create more lasting change than occasional big gestures. Some people, neglect themselves, and for example, once a month they go to a 1 or 2 days trip and they want to feel good, but whole month they just work and they burn out and they don't look after themselves. It's not good. Self-care, it should be every day, a small, even the small actions, which over time, um it can maintain your mental health well-being. So how you can create your personal self-care and relationship health plan. Look at the areas that you can do self-care. For example, physical. In physical, what areas is you don't practice self-care? Is it your sleep, you think? So try to set a goal for that. For example, consistent rest. And then try to take micro steps. For example, stretch for 5 minutes before bed, or like reading a book before bed, or do mindfulness, something like that. So for emotional area, so if you feel you're emotionally, you're bearing so much and you're bottling your feelings, so try to like put a goal like some kind of emotional awareness and clarity, and you can journal before bed, or you can start talking to a therapist, and or you start like doing exercises that you can create some emotional acceptance and distance, like ACT, for example, therapy. In social aspect, if you think you're isolated because you are busy, try to have a goal for regular connections. Call one friend, for example, weekly. So, and then you can, monitor the self-care habits and your goals in this area, and then write down the small steps that you can take daily. And then after a week, go and check your progress. This is like a template for a starting point, but you can plan like, your own needs and like based on your own circumstance, plan for yourself. So, like in summary, like self-care is like important for both your mental health and well-being and your relationships. So, self-care is how you take your power back. And When we don't have something ourselves, when our needs are not met, we cannot give to others. Always remember that. So there are plenty of resources that can support you in this journey. There are many applications there, for example, Insight Timer, Sleep Cycle. There are many books like, Radical Compassion by Tara Brach and Burnout by Emily and Amelia. So, and lots of mental health supports there. So, final reflection. What is one self-care action you will take today for yourself and your loved ones? After I finish this, so maybe it's good to just think about this. Thank you very much for listening. Mm, sharing.